2, and we are underway as the Hoosiers take the opening tip.
I think the key in this game, as I said on SportsCenter, is early in the game, Indiana's got to get a good start.
Trying to get that one out of the corner. It won't fall for Kopp, who hits 49% from three-point land. So look at the Jayhawks starting lineup. Harris, Dick, McCullar, Wilson, and Adams Jr. Wilson, of course, averages 22 and 9 coming in. He has had a sensational start to his year.
He's been terrific, no question. And, you know, I firmly believe that Harris is one of the most underrated point guards in basketball. His assist-to-turnover ratio is outstanding, and he's a terrific defender.
Drives the baseline and throws it away. Picked off by Hood Schifino. You saw him in the starting lineup, pull-up pop, and that won't fall in. But just to have him back after missing 3 games with back trouble, that's a huge deal for the Hoosiers.
Well, he's very athletic, played at a great program, Mount Verde Academy. That's looking like Whitson right there. You talk about a guy that bleeds Hoosier. What a player he was for the General Robert Montgomery Knight.
As Indiana as it gets. All-American, Big Ten Player of the Year, and of course a great career in the NBA. Brady Dick off the fake on the spin underneath. Couldn't get it to go. Tight D on the interior there for Indiana. Stolen away, knocked free by Adams, and in transition on the attack. And knocks it out. Foul by Hood Schifino.
He's been a real surprise. Bill Self told me he has really played exceptional, very aggressive. He's a tough guy on the inside. Played limited time last year, like 5 minutes a game. This guy's won a few games in his time.
Just a couple.
Championship, defending national title.
Yeah, he's closing in on Fog Allen's Kansas record for victories. Bill now in year number 20. Adams Jr. gets that one to go. Typically scuffles at the foul line, but a 3-0 start for the Jayhawks.
You know, Kansas doesn't have post presence. They really lack that size unless you have McCormick, but Adams gives them toughness on the inside. The matchup right with Davis is going to be interesting.
Jackson Davis averaging 17 and 8.
They missed him. He got the ball a little bit earlier.
Inside, knocked away, and no whistle. Doug Sermons, Keith Kimball, and Brooks Wells are officials here today. Harris slamming on the brakes and dishes, which he does beautifully. Up and under for Adams again.
Boy, what a terrific pass right there. Great vision, great basketball IQ, very cerebral when you look at Harris. And what a defender he is.
Yes, 6.5 assists a game as well.
Yeah, look at that defense. Look at that defense. That becomes contagious.
Good Schifino on the move. Shot clock down to 9 here for the Hoosiers. And the freshman with a pull-up. That clangs away, and a chilly start in the opening seconds here for Indiana.
Tell you one thing, McCullar gives him another great defensive player. He was a finalist last year in an Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, and he played at Texas Tech. So what an asset. I mean, you got 2 guys, great defenders.
Another whistle on the hard drive here, and a very active K.J. Adams Jr.
Their game plan is to double up on the inside against Trace Jackson Davis. There it is, the double up right there, making it very tough for him to get a good look. He had a tough start against Arizona.
And as you mentioned, he fouled out after playing in foul trouble for a big chunk of that game. 3-time All Big Ten. The accolades just pouring in for him. Kopp committed the foul to put Adams at the line. He was outstanding in their victory against Missouri. Talking about Adams, 19.6 rebounds. He was on the Big 12 All-Freshman team a year ago.
Had limited minutes, too. Didn't play a whole lot because they were so strong. And I'll tell you one thing, he has really blossomed for that this year. They blew out, so Missouri was undefeated. I mean, they blew them out. Then they blew out Seton Hall as well. So they've been on fire. Over 90s have scored the last couple games.
Harris picks up his first foul, going head-to-head against the opposing point guard, Xavier Johnson. That should be a really fun duel today.
Xavier Johnson's got to really give some point production and some good leadership at that point guard slot.
Johnson can hit the 3 as well. Thompson trying to back inside. Yes, pretty shot there.
Nice little post play by Thompson. He's a veteran player, experienced, can't score inside. Now my buddy Dan Dockage is really high on Indiana. He thinks ultimately, Tom, I read a quote or two, in February and March, they're going to be really an outstanding team.
A solid team right across the board. That's going to drop by McCullar Jr. He can make those. Doesn't take a lot of threes, but he's 36%.
Yeah, he can shoot the three. What a great pickup he was in terms of the transfer portal, which has caused chaos in college basketball.
Oh, man. And coaches to leave as well.
Oh, nice play.
Slithering inside. That one dropped for Jackson Davis. They're getting some decent looks in the paint. Over the top. Off the iron. Clay Adams almost hit his head there on the rim. Taken away from Hood Schifino.
And McCullar with the steal.
Look at him move.
You know what? McCullar is not against the dudes. He deserved it. He made the defensive play on the other end. And he didn't just be satisfied to get up the break. He's looking for what's here.
You had the warning, Dick, about Indiana. They couldn't fall behind early. 12-2. Kansas rolling. Beautiful ring that Kansas won last year. Number 2 for Bill Self. They get to the early ball movement here for the Jayhawks, especially on that last possession. Very unselfish.
Yeah, they're an unselfish team. There they go with the steal. Watch how McCullar makes the best. He's going to get the ball back. Look at that ball movement. They're so unselfish. I think there's 2 characteristics what makes them special. Well, obviously you start with certainly coaching and talent, but then also they defend very well as a team. And number 2, they're so unselfish. They share the rock. They make sure the open guy gets the ball.
Indiana, meanwhile, 3 turnovers, 1 for 5 from the field.
Look at that hustle.
Scrapping for it, Hood Schifino, and that's going to go the other way, and that's going to be Kansas ball.
Here they jump out early. We said how it was important for certainly Indiana to get a great start. And Jalen Wilson has not even taken a shot yet, and they're up like 12-2.
He's coming off 24 and 10 against Missouri, leading the Big 12 in scoring at 25 against Duke. Right now, they haven't needed him in the scoring column.
Played great against Duke in that win. So did Harris at 10 assists, 1 turnover.
Offensive. They'll get DeJuan Harris Jr. for that personal. His first, number 2 on Bill Self's team.
Any chance for Indiana to survive here today? Trace Jackson Davis can't just be a good player. He has to be unbelievably special inside, because they don't have a whole lot of size when you look at Kansas. They really guarded that perimeter, though, man. They really hustle.
Thompson straight on. Good looking triple.
Nice stroke right there.
And when he's on, he's dangerous. That's 7 for 8 at 20 against Little Rock. Can also get very chilly.
He's a veteran player. He's been around, very experienced.
Wilson wide open there. Certainly NBA range, and a second effort here for Kansas. Harris back outside. McCullar at the elbow, around and out. Wilson up and in.
Wilson on the offensive glass. That's the versatility he brings, Dave. He's not only a guy that can score, he's so versatile.
Johnson lost it again. Lots of turnovers early.
Oh, what a pass. What a pass. Are you serious? Talk about unselfish. Mr. O'Brien, are you serious? What a look by Harris. All about team, togetherness, effort, attitude, and mental toughness. And that explains and defines Kansas basketball.
Gradey Dick with a triumphant finish. Meanwhile, Kansas defense has been suffocating.
Look at this here.
Shot clock a factor, down to 3. Johnson had to heave it up there. Got it back. He tried to be a little too unselfish. A scramble for that. Great job by Thompson to get it free and give the Hoosiers another effort. Pop will drain the 3.
Oh, he could shoot the 3. It was the great effort they made on the floor, Indiana, that made that really happen.
They'll draw the foul. Jalen Wilson. Let's go back to Gradey Dick with a big-time finish.
Yeah, he's one of the great type of dandies in the game. A really tremendous shooter, really prolific shooting the ball. Mike Woodson told me on the phone, he said, we got to guard him big time because his range is unlimited.
Yes. And for a freshman at 47% beyond the three-point line, Wilson at the strike.
He has great Great story about Gradey. Came here for the very first time with his family. He was so emotional, enjoying the crowd. Ken Davis did a story about him in Blue Ribbon. And Ken texted me last night. He said, Dick, he cried so much, he was so emotional that he threw up. That's how excited he was here. There was no doubt that we were going to get him as a recruit.
Yes. Came to see his first game here and lost it, literally. Trey Galloway now in the ball game here for the Hoosiers. He's been starting the last 3 games.
He's a hard-nosed player, Callaway. Tough kid.
Thompson leaning in. Strong drive, but it rolls off the iron.
Thompson's been aggressive offensively for them. They got to get Jackson Davis to be aggressive on the inside and wanting the ball.
Bobby Pettiford Jr., 6'1" sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina. Now to the game for Bill Self. He's not been going very deep onto the bench. And that's something he wants to change a little bit. He feels that Pettiford should be in the game whenever Harris is not.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy who got a lot of minutes last year.
Wilson strong, swatted out of the sky by Jackson Davis.
Great play defensively right there by Jackson Davis. That's one of the dimensions he brings. Shot blocker.
Galloway shut down. Here's Kopp again. Got a good look, but it nicked the iron.
He's a transfer out of Northwestern.
Pettiford with a kick out. Here's Gradey Dick.
Oh, wow, what range. What range, man. Great rotation. He's a big-time shooter. Right up there, maybe with, as a young kid, I thought one of the greatest, as you and I talked, was J.J. Redick.
Sure.
He's doing a great job on TV. J.J. was incredible as a shooter.
Round the back goes Galloway into the paint. Nothing there. Here's Kopp. And another misfire. And Kansas on top, 21-8.
It's not the start the Hoosiers certainly was hoping for.
Adams. Again, they continue to move it so well. Shot clock at 13 for Wilson. Not that time.
It's tough to get easy baskets against Kansas. They do an excellent job defensively in transition.
Way underneath. From the corner, long distance. That won't drop for Huchefino. Second effort and a block by Adams. He get up there, but a whistle on the play with 11:51 to go here in the first half. And Gradey Dick, the 6'8" freshman, is wide awake.
Wow, look at that range.
Inside Allen Fieldhouse, a standing ovation for our Hall of Famer, Dick Vitale. A highly emotional moment here. We all lost it, by the way. This was great, great stuff. What a tribute to you, my friend.
Well, just some beautiful fans all over. It's been just incredible. The fans have been around. I tell you, it brought me to tears, man. I didn't expect it. Wow.
That was really wonderful. That was like a 2-minute standing ovation.
Well, Nick Collison was unbelievable today. They talked about getting a standing ovation. I did 2 in 44 years. David Robinson was the other one, Navy, against Kentucky. I got to get myself regrouped now. Someone to the game and I got to make it so emotional. Ted, it's great being here, man. Better than where I was a year ago.
Well, that's such a huge part of it. You've been hearing it for the last couple of days here in Lawrence. Everyone's coming up to you. You know, Kansas fans and Indiana fans approaching you and say, so great to have you back and your voice on the game. It's so wonderful to have your passion back.
Dave, you're so good to me. It's unreal. Red Sox are so lucky to have you for 162 games.
Well, we're lucky to have you, my friend, in college basketball all of these years.
Well, Kansas has played so well here early in the game, and they haven't even had the normal lift they get from out of Jalen Wilson offensively.
Here's Harris.
He's always thinking about the pass. Look at it right there. It was a great entry.
Ejiofor could not convert it, and it's going to be a traveling violation on Jackson Davis. McCullar Jr.
Got so much experience with McCullar, Harris.
They're going to lose that. Off the pass, off the hand of Harris. So turnovers starting to pile up both ways, frankly. Two teams that generally take a pretty good care of the basketball.
Well, Indiana's been a good defensive team under Mike Woodson. He really has done a great job getting them back to playing the kind of Indiana defense they played over the years.
Cross towards Bates, in and out. He can hit that three-point shot. He's 41%.
Three-point shot has not been a great weapon for Indiana this year.
Arizona really pushed them out beyond that three-point line. They didn't really want to be there. And routed Indiana.
You know, I mentioned Tennessee and Arizona. Arizona's been terrific. The kid inside dominated when he played against Indiana was Tabellis. Tabellis on the inside. In fact, if I had to do my top 4 players for Player of the Year, I had 1, Edey, 2, Wilson, 3, I had Tabellis, and 4, I had Trace Jackson Davis, and 5, Timmy.
So 2 of the guys in this game here. Johnson with a little fall away, left it short.
He's got a little hitch in his shot. He's worked on it. Johnson is a driver, hustler, very emotional player.
Harris over the top, and it's going to be laid in by Ejiofor.
What a great look right there. What a great look. I mean, he's so underrated. I can't believe that he's not on the Bob Cousy list as one of the top point guards in the country.
Yeah, there should be an investigation on that one. Yep. Dumping it downstairs, but Geronimo couldn't get it. He'll hit the deck. Tie up. And Indiana will have it on the possession arrow. Let's go back to Harris on that pretty pass.
Yes, Harris throwing it up loud. Wow, perfect look.
Ejiofor at 6'9". In a perfect position. IU's missed their last 7 field goals, by the way. The defense continues to be very stout for the Jayhawks.
Well, Bill really feels that Ejiofor's got a chance to be a heck of a player. He's going to try to get him more minutes. He feels that those guys are going to really develop the young guys off that bench.
Pull up by Geronimo. Yeah, got it to go. Nice touch there.
They got to make some of those shots. They need those big time.
23-12 Kansas. Jayhawks getting real comfortable early on, and a one-hander not there. Rebound torn away by Indiana. Vanu, the 6'9" freshman, and another theft. Harris goes down, and a whistle. And both of these guys hitting the deck. And right now for Indiana, Xavier Johnson, a point guard, is grabbing that foot in agony. He is writhing in pain.
He hustled big time on the floor, diving, hustling, scrapping.
Harris with his second foul. And that led to Johnson tripping over him and hitting that deck hard. You see a huge guy, the 6'3" senior, 11 points, 5 assists per game, the Pitt transfer.
He's vital. He's really important to their club. They really need him on that perimeter.
Take a look.
I mean, he dives for the ball there, and he gets hit a little. Wow.
Spun backward, and immediately
he grabbed his foot.
In significant pain. They just got Hood Schifino back after missing 3. Indiana cannot afford to obviously lose the point guard, but he is going to need some help to leave the courts. We'll get you an update, obviously, as soon as we can on Xavier Johnson.
The challenge is not putting any weight on that foot at all. Xavier's really a key player for them.
Give you one more look at that play, and the foul did go on to Juan Harris Jr.
Well, it was the right call. Harris certainly didn't do anything with any intent, but he definitely got him down there with the block.
So Indiana to check it in on the baseline. 9:13 to go in the first half. Here at Allen Fieldhouse, an 11 a.m. local time tip, but the place was rocking.
Geronimo made that big 3 and helped them maybe step out and get him another.
On the move, Renew inside. Nice hesitation. They're getting good shots, the Hoosiers are, Dick.
Reneau played at that famed school as well, Mount Verde Academy. Played there with Hood Schifino.
A lot of the close range shots just not dropping so far for the Hoosiers. Jr. will give that one up. Shot clock down to 9. Jalen Wilson's been pretty quiet so far.
They've done a good job with him.
He'll loft it and swish it in from three-point land.
Just a matter of time. He's been so efficient all year long, averaging 21.9 a game. Originally committed to Michigan, then had an injury, played here, and has been really brilliant.
25 against Duke, 33 against Southern Utah, 29 and 14 against Wisconsin. He's had some terrific games this season. Long range, and that'll drop down. Smooth touch there by Tamar Bates, the Kansas native.
He can shoot the ball, Bates. There's no question. You mentioned it earlier, Dave. He's a pretty good shooter. And he needs some guys who are going to make some baskets.
It's a big day for him. Coming back to Kansas. Off the window, tapped on the end by Ejiofor. Is really active since he's getting minutes here.
Ejiofor's going to get minutes, and that's going to help them get him more PT playing time. Bill was talking about him to me on the phone, and he said, I got to get him more minutes. I think he's got a chance to be really, really good.
He's not as highly ranked as others in the freshman class for Kansas, but he has shown he can play. Talk about nice touch there. Hood Shafino from way downtown.
Hood Shafino, real big-time player in the high school level. Very athletic, tough, physical. Coming off, as you said, the back injury, missed 3 games.
Yeah, and they lost 2 out of those 3, so they really missed him. Here's McCullar. McCullar coming in averaging 12 and 7. Bedford will back it out. Shot clock is 6. McCullar can't drain it. High rebound, and here come the Hoosiers. He'll swing for the corner. Way downtown, but it won't drop there for Bates. He'll get another crack at it. But Shafino gets himself a shot. No. Jayhawks looking to push it again. Back out for Wilson. No hesitation.
He's got that rainbow J, man. He lets it fly.
This tremendous range as well. That's going to be an offensive foul on Bates.
Out of control. Out of control with the basketball right there.
Trace Jackson Davis, a preseason All-American, picked up the 3rd triple-double in program history for Indiana against Nebraska. 12, 11, and 10 assists. So far today, and done a whole lot.
He's 0 for 2, has not scored. You can't have your All-American, your superstar, go on the road and not perform at his best. Because really, this place here is a tough, tough place to win at. And I really firmly believe the next 6 minutes is going to dictate whether or not Indiana has a chance in this game. They cannot allow Kansas to go on a spurt here in the last 6 minutes and blow this open big time.
Indiana has to stop turning it over. 9 turnovers for them already. Wilson with the bounce. Up top for Pettiford Jr. 7 turnovers for Kansas, by the way, but they're making shots like that. Pettiford Jr. on the drive.
Very strong drive right there by Pettiford. Used his body really well, seal off the defensive player.
Indiana trying to claw back. Swing here for Galloway, and his pass is batted away. Yet another turnover. That's 10.
It's a lot of turnovers from not even halftime.
Guard drive it again and drops it in. Quick step.
I'll tell you, Pettiford, he's a very explosive, strong guard, as you can see right there. He's been solid off the bench in his career for Kansas. He made the winning shot to beat Wisconsin in the bid when they won 69-68 in that game.
Gradey Dick with the thefts and the slam.
But he's more than just a three-point shooter. He is more than great size.
Well, you've said it a couple of times. Indiana has to be careful, and they're not being careful. Once again, a turnover into points for Kansas.
Well, he's such an impact type of dandy. He really is. He's more than, like I just said, a three-point shooter. This kid plays hard, plays with emotion, feeling, and they love having him because when he gets open, he's going to make shots.
McDonald's All-American is 6'8" freshman, but he doesn't play like one. He's only turned it over 10 times all season. A lot of times you look to that to say, oh yeah, there's your rookie, not this kid.
No, he understands how to play, man. He doesn't force shots either. A lot of times you get young kids with great reputations forcing shots.
Davis back in there and draws the foul. The crowd here at Allen Fieldhouse. They were looking for a traveling violation, but Jackson Davis getting back in, spending some time on the bench. Adams with
I think they missed one, really. I think there wasn't. There's a little walk right there, then the foul.
So Indiana to check it in on the baseline.
They missed. I mean, he was wide open there on the post, and they missed him. Can't miss your big guy inside.
The new let's fly. Ugly looking shot. One and done there. Here comes Wilson, who has 6 double-doubles.
They're always in the attack mode, and they move so well without the ball, Kansas. The players are so active. I mean, they're brilliantly coached. There's no question about it.
And they are relentless on defense. Nearly poked away from Adams. Shot clock down to 6. Almost lost it again. Got to get a shot in the air here on the spin and a travel. SMU and BYU in the New Mexico Bowl. It is bowl season.
Yep, football bowl season, no question about it. A nice ball movement right there.
Pops open, drains it, a triple.
Nice ball movement. Reverse the ball really well. Now you're talking about a player, Mike Woods. I just look it up. He averaged 18 points a game as his 77, then 19.9, then 21.0 his third year, senior year 19.3. I mean, consistent big-time scorer.
Dick again, yes.
I mean, when he shoots it, you think it's going in. I used to feel that way with Reddick, Steve Walford, Chris Mullen, Reggie Miller, calling their games over the years. I mean, those guys shot it, you just thought it was going in.
Now you're picking out some all-timers here. Hood Schifino, no. Rebound tap to Gradey Dick. He's bumped and fouled. He is hit on the play by Tamar Bates.
Wow.
So everything breaking. Kansas is way up by 17 down the stretch of the first half. Guys just like that. You had some really good teams at Detroit, man.
Yeah, well, I had some pretty good teams, but we had one great team, won 21 in a row, beat Marquette at Marquette, and they was our 21st in a row, and they went on and won the national championship 2 months later. We got beat that year in 77 in the Sweet 16 by #1 Michigan. Does this guy miss a shot?
Well, he hasn't yet.
Oh, my God.
Gradey Dick 5 for 5.
Seth LaFonso, does the guy miss any shots? Am I watching J.J. Redick? Am I watching Chris Mullen? I mean, come on.
Again, he's 47% beyond the three-point line. Freshman who shoots 48% overall. Very, very impressive.
The best range I ever saw when I did a collegiate game for a college player was Reggie Miller. His range at UCLA was unreal.
Sure.
And this kid has that kind of range.
Thompson. McCullar grabs the rebound, came in averaging 12.7 boards a game.
And I hope people will go out and say, Dickie V's saying he's a Reggie Miller. I'm not saying he's Reggie Miller. I'm saying he's got his range. Got a shooting contest. Put him out there with Reggie.
Bedford with the left hand, rolls it in. Boy, he's made an impact.
He really has. He's that kind of player, very strong with the basketball, really drives. Indiana lacks a true point guard. Because I have seen, in fairness to Trace Jackson Davis, I've seen opportunities where he is posted and the ball's not there at the right time.
Yeah, you called him out when he was wide open downstairs and they just didn't see him. Of course, Xavier Johnson does play the point for them. He is out of the game. Here's Hood Schifino straight on for a three-pointer.
Tell you one thing, shot looked really nice there. He's been a little inconsistent shooting the ball, but he keeps getting better and better shooting the ball with the other things he does well. He's going to be one heck of a player.
Indiana's got to show they can really beat good teams, don't they?
Absolutely. You can't get blown out by Arizona. You can't get blues like they did to Rutgers on the road. I know it's on the road.
Wilson got a good look. Rebound tapped away. Hoosiers control.
Got to be competitive. You're going to come here and fight and scrap.
Oh, over the top of the slam for Jackson Davis. That's more like it.
Yeah, well, that's what he does well. Catching the lobs inside. They're going to go on a little spurt here down 17.
His first bucket, 42-25. It's been such a comfortable day here for the Kansas Jayhawks. Dick Vitale leading 42-25.
Yeah, they really have been. A nice play right there. They threw the lob up on top. Trace Jackson Davis gets the catch, good hands, jams it down. They need some big plays like that to try and scrape back into this game.
Talking about a great all-around player. and a consensus preseason All-American. That was bucket number 1.
He's had some magical moments. There's no question his career has been sensational. But he's got to be able to be that kind of player against the great teams. But you need help from your friends, too. Can't do it alone.
Wilson, a determined drive. Likes that lean-in look, doesn't he?
Tell you one thing. They're beating guys off the bounce to the rack. And that's something Indiana defense was not about when Mike Woodson played.
And Mike told us yesterday, 2 things have to happen. We've got to play excellent defense and rebound and cannot turn the ball over. The turnovers have been murder for them today. Nice catch and up and in for Jackson Davis.
That's where he's really effective. He's very efficient around the basket. A lot of people question whether he can be that effective in the NBA because they really wonder about his shot. Well, you know, nice block right there.
Jackson Davis with the deflection.
Mike Woodson debates that. He says, I believe he can play in that league. Just can't, like Oscar DeShibwe. They say the same about him. Come on. Those guys can play in the NBA.
Well, if you get 20 rebounds a game, you can play anywhere, can't you?
This guy, he can play.
It'll be Jackson Davis heading to the line at 66%. He's on about 5 or 6 different watch lists for postseason awards and drops in number 1.
Starting to get a little feel now. Trace Jackson, they realize they got to go into him a little bit more, and they're doing that right here. You know, I talked to Mike on the phone, and he said to me he was really excited. When I spoke about 2 days ago, he said, coming to practice today is my coach, Bobby Knight, is coming in. And he said he had been at a previous practice, and he told the team, you're here not to just play basketball. You're here to win. And
well, that resonates a little bit.
He just was really so great to see him. Mike Woodson came to Indiana right after they won.
Poked away by Hood-Schifino, and he's on the line, and we'll turn it right back over to Kansas.
He hustled like crazy, but he said, you know, he came at a time right after the 76 team that went undefeated. The last team in college basketball to go undefeated. Quinn Buckner, Scott May, Ken Benson. I mean, they were terrific. Bobby Wilkerson, Abernathy. What a team. Pretty good memory for a guy 83, huh?
Not too shabby, man.
Wow.
Not too shabby at all.
I'm proud of myself doing that. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Well, one of the great moments, I think all season so far, was the standing ovation you got here during the first half by the great fans here in Kansas. They love you. They showed it, pouring out all of that emotion. I know you as well. Downstairs, tough catch there by McCullars, and that's going to be out. Back over to Indiana. So a little life here at the tail end of the half for the Hoosiers.
Hoosiers playing a little better here at the end of the half, Dave. You're right.
Bedford Jr. back on now for Kansas. And Harris will head to the bench. 4 seconds on the clock. Hood-Schifino across midcourt takes a look, fires, around and out. That would have been awfully sweet to go. Kansas, well, they looked outstanding in the first half, leading 44-29. It's a wonderful tribute to the man who's a national treasure, the great Dick Vitale, right in this building, a standing ovation. Fans so delighted to have him back after the battle against cancer. And Kansas played a terrific first half.
They put a clinic on. They really did. Sharing the basketball, playing with one another. The only negative was they turned it over 10 times, but that's because they're playing so aggressively. However, they really did a phenomenal job finding the open people. Take a look right here. You see ball movement, great ball movement. That's the trifecta going down. And watch this play. Right here, McCullar makes the steal, and then McCullar on the third pass gets it back, runs the court, transition, gets the layup. Watch this showtime right here. Oh, the bounce pass. Gradey Dick, one of the premier diaper daddies in the nation. He hasn't missed a shot yet.
13 points.
Wow. He shot the ball like LaFonso Ellis did when he played for the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame.
He's going to like that. Indiana trailed by as much as 22. They did go on a little bit of a run, a 9-2 run to make it more respectable. And Xavier Johnson, point guard for Indiana, out with a foot injury. They say he will not return. When he got hurt, it was 23-12. At least it was more manageable at that point.
Let's hope that it's not a serious injury. But you know what? Indiana, that 9-2 run, a lot of it was because they start going inside a little bit more than Trace Jackson. He just ran the court there. They missed him. He was ahead of the pack.
So by your count, they missed him 2 or 3 times today.
Absolutely.
Jackson Davis with the deflection. He'll take the entry. He's doubled up on the block.
Tripled up. 3 guys surrounded him. 3 guys. You know what? I'm a dummy. I didn't go to Harvard. I can't spell Harvard. But if 3 guys are around 1 guy, shouldn't 2 be open?
2 might be open.
Wow. I can even figure that out. Man, that's a little too intellectual for me.
Harris on the attack. Zips it in the corner. McCullar. Got a lot of iron.
Harris too unselfish there. He had a layup. He drove the ball to the goal, wide open, and he throws the ball out to the guy shooting it. Come on, Dewan, you got to make some points.
The passing game is very impressive on the entry as Thomas, and he'll get that one to go. Thompson.
I like him. I like Thompson. Nice play on the inside, sealed the defense really well.
44-31.
He walked, I thought, there.
Indiana fans thought that was the case. Adams, great job adjusting in midair to make the shot.
Screen and roll really well. You talk about an improved player. Played limited minutes on the great team last year. I mean, think of what they lost. Amaji, Chris Brown, all NBA players. McCormick.
Lost those guys, and they're this good. Here's Bates. Yeah, nice touch.
They got to get that shot on the floor. He at least, there's a chance it's going in when you see him shoot it.
So Indiana's showing life at the end of the half and now early in the second.
Playing a little bit more aggressiveness.
Wilson and 2. Gorgeous shot.
He can score in so many different ways, man. He's like Baskin Robbins. He got all those flavors. Well, he has a lot of flavors offensively.
He's got 11 points fairly quietly. He's averaging 22.
I could go for a Baskin Robbins right now. Butter pecan.
You and I both, yes. Let's share that. Tapped away by Wilson. Up ahead for Harris. Back for Gradey Dick and can't lay it in.
He missed a shot. He probably missed a shot. Gradey Dick.
Tiptoeing in and the foul. They're going to get Adams for that. Jackson Davis trying to take command. Foul number 2.
Take a look right here. Nice drive, a little hook shot. The old-fashioned hook shot.
Is that pretty?
Yeah, that was really pretty.
So it'll be Trace Jackson Davis at the line. As you look at Wilson this season, double-double, 6 of those. Top 5 nationally in that category. He's in the top 5 in a lot of categories, certainly in the conference. Early Player of the Year candidate, leading the Big 12 in scoring.
Well, I think there's no doubt right now the leading guy is Zach Edey, the big guy down at Purdue. He's sitting number 1 right now. Last year, Indiana was able to beat Purdue. And that was like first time in a few years.
Harris running the point. Last 3 games for him, 25 assists and only 4 turnovers.
He's got 10 and 1 against Duke.
Wilson spinning, firing. Jackson Davis looking a lot more confident in recent minutes in this game. Off the front iron, that won't fall for Bates.
It was a good shot, though. It was really a high percentage shot.
Gradey Dick.
You notice when they play Dick, they take away that 3. They want to be right in his face.
Right off the hands of Adams there. In transition, Thompson will get fouled on the play, no basket. But he draws the foul. Race Thompson coming off 16 points, 9 rebounds against Arizona. Wilson's second personal.
Tell you, we look at Arizona, their front court was amazing. Kid Tabellis doesn't get enough national attention. That's going to be some heck of a game against Tennessee.
Indiana losing by 14 to number 10 Arizona in Las Vegas. Also lost to Rutgers, so they dropped 2 out of their last 3. Coming to the Fog. Trying to turn around a big first half deficit here in the early second half. And another one for Thompson. Really good foul shooter, 90% for the senior out of Plymouth, Minnesota. And he's 1 of 2.
Got to get some defensive stops here. Wilson showed he can handle the rock as well. His stock going up in the eyes of the scouts.
Harris, not there for him. Right back to Harris. Battling for the rebound, Jackson Davis. There's a terrific passer. Has it knocked away, wins it back, and scores.
He stayed with it. He stayed with the loose ball. He has definitely picked up his game. He has picked up his game. It's down to 10, baby. Hoosiers are battling. They're battling Mike Woodson's style, who's one of the greatest ever to play wearing a Hoosier uniform.
By 10, and that man, Jackson Davis, a big reason why did.
Yeah, he's going to block 5 shots. He's become much more aggressive. Stayed with this loose ball if the ball was deflected from him. He's become a lot more active. Then right now, the last time they were in single digits, they were down 17-9. Take a look at his numbers right here, the All-American. Dale Davis was a heck of a player. Post player, his dad.
Well, Indiana on a run here of 18-6 since Kansas had its largest lead at 42-20.
What I really like is the fact they battled the battle. A lot of teams would fold with this crowd and against that talent that they put on the floor, Kansas, but they did not fold, Indiana. Battle back. They got a point guard coming in next year, Gabe Cups. I hear great things about him. Because I really believe they need a real true point guard.
Wilson got airborne. McCullar looks surprised by it. And another block by Jackson Davis. That's half a dozen.
6 block shots, man. You expect that from a great player.
It's McCullar returning the favor on the other end for Kansas as he got the block. So play certainly heating up. 10-point game, Kansas on top.
I'm so proud of our gala. We've raised $55 million so far for kids battling cancer, but it's not enough.
It's a beautiful ride, too.
Porsche, you kidding me? We sold out the BMW, we sold out the Mercedes, and now we're going to sell out this Porsche.
Well, the cop can't find a range. 10-point lead here for Kansas, but the Hoosiers in the contest for the first time in a long time.
Been nice if they would have got it down to single digits.
Gradey Dick off the fake. Had a very hot first half. Nice feed for Wilson, but blocked again. That's Jackson Davis once again.
Bounce pass. There it is.
And the swoop shot will not drop.
2-on-1. They can't convert.
Bates couldn't get it to drop. They had the numbers. Kopp with the foul, number 2.
Wow. They're going to block defensively. They're doing a great job. Defensively block. Bounce pass. Challenged. Had a bad angle for making that layup.
Jackson Davis with 7 block shots.
I mean, the kid is really doing what he can. You know, he just got a passive way about himself, but he really plays hard within himself.
McCullar, no. Right back to him in the paint. And drops it in. Nice touch.
Second effort right there on McCullar. Was a Naismith finalist, they said, in the first half defensively last year. Texas Tech.
7 blocks for Jackson Davis, by the way, are a career high. Downstairs, he'll take a knock. He did by McCullar.
He's a good free throw shooter.
Senior from Greenwood, Indiana. McCullar with his second. And so not in the act of shooting. It'll be Kopp to put it in.
Running through the lob. Gradey Dick, Jesus, size bothers the inbounds in basketball. Give it to him. He was facing right there.
And a couple of times they've kind of ignored him.
See, like right now, he had the guy in his back. He's got size, he's got the advantage.
Chafino way downtown, and McCullar with the rebound.
It's going to frustrate you a little bit as a big guy when you got the guy on your backside. You want the ball in the post.
Yeah, especially when you're working so hard for it. Reward that guy. Harris, nice drive.
Where's the rotation? The help side defense. I can see beating the one guy, but you can't beat 4. You got to come over and help one another. Communicate. Part of defense is communication.
So Kansas now on top, 52-38. Did Indiana miss an opportunity there? Or can they keep it rolling? Here's Kopp on the baseline. Got tied up, and he gave it away.
Look at him. Let him run the break.
McCullar, yes!
So McCullar was some big-time get. He was really a great get for them out of the transfer portal.
And listen to this place.
Look at the place. It's electric.
And a foul with 13:10 to go as Chafino tried to quiet them. And he takes a tumble.
What a great crowds in basketball. We had a nice visit before the game from Don Fisher. Does a great job on the sideline, broadcaster for Indiana. 50 years he's been doing it.
Yeah, like every one of those years, he's been Indiana's broadcaster of the year, something like that. He's incredible.
Yeah, really, he's done a tremendous job.
Adams with his third foul, by the way.
Years ago, over here in Kansas for years, Max Funkenstein, he was phenomenal. Then Joe Davis came in. Now they got a young guy, Haney, down there, does a good job. I love these guys. They're so dedicated to their schools and their programs.
Sure are.
They eat, sleep, and drink.
They bleed. Really they bleed for their programs.
They really do.
So Hood Schifino, the freshman from Pittsburgh.
They got a good one in his diaper, Danny. He's going to be a very good player.
Missed the last 3 games because of back problems, but looked really good in practice yesterday. It was going to be a game-time decision today, and he took care of business in practice. He looked great.
I got a feeling he knew he was going to play.
I think so.
I really did. A couple of things. When you hear those game-time decisions.
Harris trying to penetrate. Up and in for 2 points. So he saw an opportunity. Not a big score. 8 points a game. Fantastic distributor. 6.5 assists a game.
Great defensive player.
Jackson Davis. Not that time.
Look at this. Look at that speed.
He wants to get it and go. Harris directing traffic. Back up to a 16-point lead here for Kansas. Indiana had it down to 10. Another one. That'll go down.
He is without a doubt, one of the premier point guards in America. Bob Cousy Award, you've got to make a little change. That kid has to be on that list. Passer, defender, he is truly the definition of a legitimate point guard.
Timeout, Indiana. Suddenly, it's back up to 18 for Kansas in the big crowd.
Your coach, he really does a great job at Houston and Virginia. We know, in fact, Virginia is one of only 7 unbeaten teams. Connecticut, Mississippi State, Virginia, Purdue, Utah State, UNLV, and New Mexico. The last 3 I gave you are from the Mountain West Conference.
How about that?
They better get some love, man. Tomorrow you got Patino versus Patino. You got New Mexico undefeated playing against Mr. Patino and his Iona Gales, who are very good.
Galloway with a bucket on the other end. Had been a 10-2 Kansas run since Indiana cut it to 10. Got it off to Harris. Harris, he's gotten hot. He's been making those layups.
Too many open lanes and drives to the basket. And that's got to really upset Mike Woodson. That's not Indiana defense, especially the defense he learned on the Bob Knight. The help defense. There's no help. Guys driving right to the lane. They're going to call Dan Dockage and get him out there to play some D. He'd shut down a guy by the name of Mr. Jordan.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he upset Carolina in the tournament.
Geronimo with the turnover. So 16 for Indiana. Harris has scored 8 of the last 10 for Kansas, all here in the second half.
Look at this. Let him work it for a shot.
Wilson bottled up. Nice dish underneath. It won't drop there for Pettiford.
He found the open guy, Pettiford.
60-42 Kansas.
I mean, they've been just so impressed. They put 95 on the board, blew out Missouri, who was 10-0 at Missouri. Then they also blew out my alma mater, Seton Hall, put 91 on the board. By the way, Seton Hall doesn't take a lot of claim for me being a graduate there. I held up the bottom of the class.
Stop. So Indiana looking to make another run. If they can muster that, trying to do it without their point guard, Xavier Johnson, lost to a foot injury in the first half and will not return. Stolen away by Jalen Wilson. Wilson going up against the Hoosiers, has it batted away. So Indiana takes it right back. Galloway over the top of the stuff for Geronimo.
Really nice job to Geronimo. Galloway, he's a hard-nosed kid. He plays really tough, tenacious. He was playing starting over Schifino when Hood Schifino was hurt.
Harris for Wilson, open for a triple.
Tell you the one thing Indiana has done and done well, they've shut down Gradey getting any open looks. in terms of shooting the three. Gradey can't get an open three.
On the spin, and a lot of iron, but it won't fall for Jackson Davis.
Good shot. He did a great job going over the left shoulder.
Under 10 to go here in Lawrence. A bobble there by Pettiford Jr. hangs on to it.
He's really played well off the bench for them.
Wilson knifing through, gave it up, and a whistle. And a push with 9:50 to play.
Showing some of his athletic ability right there. Really hung in the air.
Donmo will pick up that personal.
You know, I mentioned it earlier because nobody gives credit to those kind of conferences. I mean, the Mountain West, to have Utah State, UNLV, and New Mexico undefeated is unreal. Tomorrow at the Pit, when it's Pitino versus Pitino, they expect the first possible sellout in many a year. I think as of yesterday, it was 13,000, holds 15,000. Writer asked me, do you think, Rick Pitino would like beating his son? Are you kidding me? Rick Pitino would like to beat anybody in checkers.
Sure.
Okay.
This team's playing very well. Here's Wilson way downtown. And one and done. Trying to beat everybody up on the other end of the floor. Nice job there by Renew, the 6'9" freshman.
With the catch, but what a great pass. What a terrific pass that was.
And you mentioned Gradey Dick of Kansas. He has not scored here in the second half. There's the big slam by Xavier. He's making sure.
He's going to get some playing time. He's going to get, if they can develop their bigs, Xavier and Vitale, and he spoke very highly of Vitale as well, has not played today.
Yeah, he's 6'11", McDonald's All-American. That tells you something about Kansas. 6'11" All-American, McDonald's All-American, can't even get in the game.
Well, they got a couple of guys. Rice is also McDonald's All-American,
right.
Hasn't played. I mean, that shows you the talent level.
He threw that one away, and a foul here.
Terry Van Devere could flat out coach what she's done with that Stanford program. It's amazing.
Gino Auriemma on the other end of the country. He's got a big game tomorrow, trying to recover from a lot of injuries.
He's a pretty good coach, huh? He's got a pretty good record.
He's done just fine.
Yeah, Gino, he's got a few W's.
Lot to be proud of there. Pettiford put on the brakes. McCullar to the other side of the iron for two.
Oh, great play right there. Again, we talked about it earlier. Characteristics of this team. Defense, they play really tough and hard, and they're so unselfish, and that was another example of it.
Poked away by McCullar. Yeah, more great D. Pettiford denied, but a whistle. And he'll be at the line with a little over 8 minutes to go. McCullar getting it done underneath.
I am really so impressed with this Kansas team. They really, really play so well together. They look for one another. They really play the game where coaches talk about. They execute and are efficient doing all those things. That was a trademark during the days of the great General Robert Montgomery Knight. Indiana was all about that. Sharing the ball, defending. When you were playing them, you knew you were in for a battle.
Pettiford Jr. at the line here, 65-46. Dick, it was just a few minutes ago.
10.
Indiana had it down to 10.
Yeah, they were playing really well, and all of a sudden they stepped it up.
They've also committed 19 turnovers, the Hoosiers.
That hurts big time. That's a lack of, like I said, a true point guard. Xavier certainly out of the lineup certainly hurts.
By the way, tip of the cap to the Hoosier fans, and I know this is no surprise to Indiana basketball, but they travel really well. There's so many of their fans coming here to Lawrence to take in this game, and they're wonderful, wonderful fans.
Well, you and I having breakfast there while I'm coming over for pictures.
Yeah.
Loads of, I asked, how'd you get tickets? I mean,
66-46. Kansas back in command under 8 minutes. So as you mentioned, Alabama ranked number 4, 9-1.
Hey, I see a line, number 4, Alabama. They would have loved to be on that line in college football.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Mr. Saban would have loved to be number 4.
At the line, Hood Schifino. Stanford Steve in the house. Knows all about those betting lines.
Stanford Steve, baby.
Freshman will drop that one in. Indiana hoping they have another run in them, like the one that cut this thing down to 10 at one point after it had been 22 for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks ranked number 8 coming in, Dick.
They're better than that. Trust me right now, looking at the lineup there, they're better than number 8. And they're going to get better and better as the year progresses.
They're a lot better than number 8. Harris. And the slam. Gorgeous pass for Ejiofor.
Ejiofor, what a factor he's been, using that size, agility, because that's the one area they need some help. And look how active he is with his footwork. He created a block right there.
Thompson gets hit. He'll be at the line. That's worth another look on the other end.
Ejiofor's going to become a little diaper dandy. He's going to lob up a top. Great catch. There's the slam jam. Bam. Hey, my diaper dandy of the year, if I was doing it right now, the kid down in Alabama, Brandon Miller's been great. Kyle Filipowski at Duke would be up there, number 2. Then I would say probably Gradey Dick at number 3. Keontae George and Baylor's been very good. And Jordan Pope's a kid who don't get a lot of publicity down at Oregon State. Those are diaper dandies that have wasted no time being impact players.
You take that group right now, all those rookies, any day of the week.
Yep.
There's a starting unit. And Thompson, good at the line.
I'm having a little thought process going here. You know, you got to excuse me, too, because I'm 83 years old. I can use that as a weapon now. But I'm thinking, who would be my all Bobby Knight Indiana team? I'm putting that together mentally.
That's a great question.
I'm putting that together.
There's a lot to choose from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's trying to get that open look for a 3. It's not there. But you know what? Wow. He shows he's more than a 3-point shooter.
Sure does. Gradey Dick now at 15 to lead Kansas.
Yeah, I watched him a little bit on defense, and that's an area he's going to work on. But he really hustles, he plays hard, driving the basketball. Well, I know one thing, my all Bob Knight team, right away. I mean, I got to have on that team. Certainly, you got to think about Isaiah Thomas. You got to think about Calbert Chaney. You got to think about Mike Woodson. You got to think about Scott May. Let me think a little longer.
Got some shooters up and in for 2 for Jackson Davis.
Well, we're talking about shooters, but you got to get a point guard. What about Quinn Buckner?
What about Quinn Buckner?
Great leader. He's got to be on there. Anyone another shooter? I mean, a guy that was what about Steve Alford?
McCullar, another block shot for Jackson Davis. 8 for him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job down in the hole. Now he's in the score. They missed him right there.
Bates
they
around
missed him. Oh, I want to go play point guard. I got one eye and I can see he's open. I'd give him the rock, baby. I'd give him the rock.
And missing their regular point guard, Xavier Johnson, because of the foot injury. That's been part of it.
Too short right there for Gradey Dick. He's only a 12-footer.
Stepping into it, Bates. They left him alone, but he can't drain it. So Kansas has opened up a 70-51 lead under 6 minutes to go. When for a couple of minutes anyway, it was a ball game. It was down to 10.
Yeah, they were coming on strong. They had that nice run, Indiana.
Harris swings it up top. Pettiford Jr. Here's Gradey Dick. Jackson Davis had a really quiet chunk of the first half.
Nice pass.
Played much better since then, but it's going to stay on this end. And back to the pass.
Jackson Davis did a great job with the block. I'm watching my hip block. There he is right there. Had a great look inside. You see the defense rotated right away. That's what you want on defense. You want people to help one another. Communicate with one another. I got help. I'm on your left. I'm on your right. You got to talk out there.
It's something if you watch a Bill Self practice, he is on all the time. Talk. Dick ahead of the crowd. Left it off the window. McCullar could not finish. But Lee Harris will.
Tell you what, they're relentless. They don't stop. They just keep coming at you. Missed shots, offensive rebounds. Look at the defense rotating.
Picked up by McCullar. On the run, Gradey Dick. Yes.
I love his shot. These fans love him. You can see there's a love affair here. Gradey Dick, one of the impact diaper dandies.
Trying to power his way inside. Jackson Davis will take the foul. He gets hit. And Gradey Dick, yeah, you said, well, he can do a lot more than shoot threes, but he can shoot the 3.
Square his body, gets out there. Great rotation. Hello. He was a Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah, in fact, 2-time Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year, National Player of the Year as well. And so it'll be
He just went on and on to me about this kid. He's more than just a shooter, and he's so right about that.
18 for him. 75-52. Jackson Davis with another one.
Jackson Davis, he's done what he, was not really super effective offensively. I credit that also to the fact of not finding him at the right time, but he really has done his job defensively. You block 8 shots, that is special.
Blocking 8 shots at Kansas.
That's special.
Better on the baseline. Adams has it deflected. Right back up. Wilson, no. Out top, Harris Jr. And he will set it up now for the Jayhawks. Jalen Wilson with the dish. So unselfish. Here's Harris.
They all look, man. They all look to get the open guy.
Thompson blocked from behind of a foul there by Gradey Dick. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. All Kansas here over the last 7 or 8 minutes. What a wonderful day and evening of college basketball. Kip, thank you very much. Kansas really sharing the sugar. 16 assists. Harris and Dick have scored 15 and 31 second half. On the other side, Jackson Davis has been credited now with 9 blocks. That is one shy of a single game record.
Well, the big concern right now for Kansas is waiting for that committee, the independent committee, the accountability committee that's really been appointed by the NCAA to make decisions. It's been 5 years plus. My feeling is if you can't make a decision in 2 years, bottom line is drop all charges. But, recently they gave a decision out there in Arizona, and I thought it was criminal what they did. Bottom line is they punished severely the assistant coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Well, I thought the head coach has to be certainly accountable for what happens with his staff. And I thought that was unfair totally. And the winner was Xavier, because they got Sean Miller, who he's a hell of a coach, there's no doubt about it. But he didn't have any penalty whatsoever. One assistant got a 10-year show cause. Another got 2 years.
Galloway pushes it up and drops in 2.
Don't get me started with that stuff, because I will not end. Dave, stop me, Dave. I'm telling you.
It's amazing how many times I don't actually get you started. You start yourself. So. But I totally get 2 years.
Tackle me, though. Tackle me. Yeah. Because I really think that committee has turned out to be a nightmare. In fact, they're doing away with it starting next year.
Coming up on the 3-minute mark. What has been a big day for the Jayhawks and a big day for Adams.
Tell you, Adams really, you talk about an improved player. Played limited minutes last year. He's not 7 foot in that post, but he's so active and so tough, tenacious.
11 points and a quick strike on the other end. Renew the 6'9" freshman. And 77-58.
See a heck of a point guard on that sideline. When I look at Mike Woodson's staff, Armand Hill, he was a terrific guard at Princeton. NBA as well.
Wilson can't drain the jump shot.
He's having a tough time with the shot going down.
Take away, Dick has it back. Little fall away. Got it.
So you're watching this kid now. He is not one-dimensional. Not at all.
20 points for him. A lot of Jayhawks have had really nice days.
20 points are not 4 shots, Dave.
Right.
Always within the offense.
With a follow-away shot for him. Here's Harris. Oh, look at the dish for Pettiford. The look away.
Time to get the bench in. He's got to be ready. Time to get a standing O from the Rock Chalk Jayhawk faithful. How'd you like to play in this environment? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Boy, this pass was a thing of beauty.
And I'm 83 and I get so excited just being here. Watch this pass. Unbelievable look. Great bounce pass. It's all Kansas now. It's Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk.
81-58. So it's becoming.
Here we go, baby. Oh, thank you. I got to thank my producer, man, Gus. Mr. Gustafson, thanks for the airtime. Let's raise some money for kids battling cancer. Get a chance on a beautiful Porsche. Get a chance. Go today. We're going to sell out. 2,000 chances. Just go to v.org/Vitale raffle. Help us raise money to help kids battling that dreaded disease.
How much money have you raised over the years? What's the total?
My gala right now, we're $55 million. And we should go a lot higher this year. We're honoring the McEnroe brothers in tennis.
Yes.
We're honoring David the Admiral Robinson.
Wow.
And a guy I know you know and admire, Buster Posey.
Absolutely.
So it'll be a great night. It's May 5th at the Ritz-Carlton. People want information about that, just go to my website, dickvitale.com. dickvitale.com. But today belongs, man. Today belongs to Kansas, the Jayhawks. We saw last night. We had a great dinner last night, 7:15. We were there, my wife, you.
Yep, downtown here.
Yeah, Adam, Brian, our fine director. Gus was there. He picked up the check, so we loved that.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, but we had a great time. We had a great time. We had a great table. Fans were great to us.
Well, everybody who came in wanted to come over and take a picture with you, and you finally got through your soup, your appetizer. Took about an hour and a half.
I love fans, though. I love them. I really do.
But you're great with them, and they've responded to you, obviously, before and since your cancer diagnosis and the battle you went through, which I think inspired so many people. Really did.
You know, I just wanted to be as, upfront as possible to let people know what people go through. I mean, I can't even imagine after going through what I did for that year, a parent dealing with a child going through that with the PET scans, the blood work. I mean, it's nonstop, and it's really a lot of fear every time you go.
Whistle here, those with 9 on the shot clock. In the closing moments of a victory here, you hear that resonate inside Allen Fieldhouse. Gives you chills.
Mike Whitson was such a player. Man, what a player.
So Renew at the line. We'll drop that one in.
He's going to be a very good player as well. Came from that Mount Vernon Academy. Played with Derek Whitehead down there. Outstanding player now at Duke, a freshman.
Kansas, by the way, 6 players in double figures. Harris with his first career double-double, 10 points and 10 assists. We mentioned Jackson Davis of Indiana with 9 block shots today, but 23 Indiana turnovers.
Wow, 23. Think about that. 23 opportunities. Well, I got to make one correction, my boy Seth. I coached at East Rutherford High School. Seth, I'm getting people sending me text messages. He's got to say East Rutherford in New Jersey. We won back-to-back state championships there. Had some great kids.
Glad you got that one in.
Well, I was getting these text messages. Coach, my former player. Tell Seth it was East Rutherford High School.
Yes, get that part right.
Here with our guy Mark doing our beautiful stats for us.
Mark Mento's been at this for a long, long time. I haven't seen him in several years, and he's as good as ever.
Oh, I worked with him for years. We were together with Keith Jackson, ABC.
So the fans rising up here in the last seconds of what is going to be a resounding victory for Kansas.
Dominant.
They played great all afternoon, really. Martin getting in, and he'll drop down a long-distance shot, so even the extras are getting in on it.
Wire to wire, just domination, wire to wire. I'm getting back to sunshine, beautiful Florida. My grandkids are all home from college at Notre Dame. Duke.
Good for you.
We're going to the Cayman Islands in 5 days.
Not bad. A wonderful tribute for you today, partner. Great stuff. And a standing ovation here at Allen Fieldhouse. Final score here, Kansas 84 and Indiana 62.